Okay, Chicago Bulls. They have fallen back a couple of games. Let's kind of chat about why and what has been working well and what hasn't been working well. Let's start off with some positive stuff that I've been seeing. I mean, for one, DeMar DeRozan continues to be an MVP candidate because why wouldn't he be? I mean, he's been averaging like 25, 26. Can't really complain about that. It's not really his production that's been lacking. Um, Something that's been not great right off the bat would be the old Zach LaVine hasn't been exactly been playing incredibly since he's coming back. Obviously, he didn't play against the Spurs. I mean, he's averaging 22 and a half right now, which, obviously not bad. I'll take that any day of the week. But at the same time, he was a 25, 26 point per game scorer before. Not the season, not last year. I think he was 24 last year, but the year before that, he was 25, 26. And, you can expect a little bit of a dip in production when you've got DeMar and Vooch in side by side next to him. But at the same time, you'd like to see that a little bit higher, considering he should be, our primary scorer. But beyond that, I mean, Vooch, I'm really enjoying his little bounce back that he's been having. 17 points. He's been rebounding the ball like crazy. I mean, so has Drummond, who was severely missed in the game against the 76ers, which I will get into a little bit later. And, Io continues to be a great fourth starter on the team who's, giving us 12 and a half. Again, same thing, very severely missed against the 76ers on that game on Saturday. But, at the same time, it was nice to see that the team could have other guys step up and, perform at a pretty high level. I mean, I've been really enjoying the Dragic signing. Patrick Williams is having a bit of a bounce back after a very rough and slow start. He's scored double digits in the last 2 games, I believe, against the Spurs and the 76ers. So, very happy with that. Can't complain too much. And, obviously Javonte Green is continuing to be the high energy guy that we all have come to expect and love, and greatly, greatly appreciating that. Especially as this team kind of gets slogged down. It's great to have guys like Javonte and Derrick Jones as well coming off of the bench, taking that 4 spot and really just providing a lot of energy, high energy plays, getting put back dunks off of rebounds, pushing the ball in transition. It's been a lot of fun to watch them, kind of go to work. And on top of that, Caruso, he's doing his thing, averaging 2 steals and a block as a guard. Pretty damn good so far. Same thing. You'd like to see him shooting the ball a little bit better, especially, he had a chance to take the lead or tie, I don't remember, in this game against the 76ers, couldn't convert. But at the same time, that's a shot that you're comfortable with him taking. I mean, he's shooting 33% from 3, below league average. But at the same time, I'm not too worried about that. It was a good shot for him to take, and I'll have him take it any time of the day. And let's kind of jump into the bad a little bit. We'll start off with the big things and kind of go from there. The biggest things is the Bulls need to be able to close out games. And in the easiest way for them to do this, I think, instead of closing out, is to just not let these teams get these big 18, 19 point leads that they somehow miraculously come back from before the end of the game. And, you'd like to see that instead of 19 points, have it not be a lead at all, of course, but, make it something a little bit more manageable, like 10 at the worst in the first quarter, so that you're not sitting there having to just try and fight back through the entire game. And then by the time the end of the game rolls around, you're not really having much energy to expend, especially, on these games that are back-to-backs. You got to be able to, if not put these teams away early, you got to be able to keep them within striking distance for the majority of the game so that you still have some energy left in the fourth quarter and you're not sitting there fighting back from a 20-point deficit. But that's been the biggest thing. You'd like to see them a little bit stronger on shooting the ball. I mean, I think that's honestly been their biggest reason why they haven't been able to keep these leads to a more manageable amount, is because they just can't shoot the ball as effectively as you would hope. I mean, they're shooting 36% from 3 on 28 attempts, which, that's a good percentage, but at the same time, you'd like to see that be a little bit higher, especially when the team's field goal average is 45%. Maybe, get into the lane a little bit more. Those mid-ranges, as much as I love them from DeMar, I'm not a huge fan from them as from everyone else across the court. So you'd like to see those turn into either 3-point attempts or, just drives to the hoop, maybe draw another foul, get these guys into foul trouble, and, try and take it from there. And the other thing that is really kind of holding them back right now is back onto the defensive end. A lot of the times it's the three ball is just killing them. I feel like I don't have the exact number in front of me, but the other teams have been shooting lights out from three, and it doesn't matter what team it is. They're always going to shoot lights out from three against the Bulls, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just, they get hot when they're in Chicago or playing the Bulls, or if they, or if the Bulls just need to have better defense, guarding the three. I mean, we've got the interior seemingly pretty solid. It's just, you would hope the guys like Alex, Io, Zach, they'd be able to contain them a little bit more on the perimeter. And obviously that's where Lonzo Ball really hurts, and especially it hurts when you don't have Io in the lineup as well against the 76ers. I mean, you would have a guy like Io on Tyrese Maxey, so you're not having to worry too much more about that. And, putting Patrick on James Harden, which was a nice little addition that I did enjoy that. But you would hope that once Io's back, once Andre Drummond is back especially, that we're able to shore up the defense a little bit more than we have been. Also, another thing that I wanted to note was against the 76ers, there was something that we've kind of been talking about, I've been seeing, and kind of been clamoring for, but having a small ball lineup where Patrick Williams was playing the 5. I really kind of enjoyed that, and being able to watch them go at such a high pace, high tempo, that was pretty fun, and I would definitely like to see more of that in the future, especially against teams that don't really have a backup big like the 76ers really don't have one. So I really enjoyed that. I'd like to see that come back a little bit more. That was kind of fun. But yeah, overall, you would hope to see this team just kind of working out the kinks a little bit more, becoming more consistent, being able to close out these games that are within striking distance, within 5 points. Both the Spurs and the 76ers were both 5-point games. And, great win against Indiana and a great win against Boston. But again, even Boston, they got out to a 19-point lead, and we had to sit there and fight to come back. And you'd like to be able to see them make that a little bit easier on themselves and not have it be such a big deficit. But at the same time, it was a good win, a great win against Indiana. I'll take that. But let's take a quick look around the league and just kind of see what's happening, take stock as to where everyone is at. And specifically, I would like to take a look at the Portland Trailblazers for the obvious reason that we have their first round pick if they do make the playoffs, excuse me. And right now that pick is looking like that it's going to convey, if the Pacers continue on the pace that they're at right now, or did I say pace? The Trailblazers continue on the pace that they're at right now, seeing as they are 5-1, and I mean, I believe they're beating pretty solid teams. I mean, let me just pull it up real quick. Yeah, they're beating a Kings team that should be better than I feel like they're better than the record indicates. They're beating a Phoenix team who's also on a hot streak right now. They beat Denver, and, they beat the Lakers and Houston, which, LA should be better than they are, but I will happily accept the fact that they're kind of trash, and I'm okay with that. And, they beat Houston, who's tanking / rebuilding, whatever you want to call it, and a loss to Miami, which, fine. But I'll definitely take that. If you're a Bulls fan, which, I am. So I would happily take their pick. Looking around the league, seeing, I think I mentioned it a little bit. The Sacramento Kings are 1-4, but I feel like they're better than that. And I'm hoping to see them do a little bit more, obviously get some more wins, because, I mean, they should be doing a lot better, especially, with a guy like Keegan Murray, who is an absolute bucket. I'm really high on him. I think he's going to be just a stud. I mean, especially with De'Aaron Fox playing as well as he is. Yeah, I mean, the two of them are combining for, almost 45 points together. It's like, all right, you should be able to do better with that, especially when you got, Sabonis and Herter, who are also both averaging double-digit points. You should be doing better than that. But I think that's, kind of the biggest surprises. The 76ers are starting to bounce back a little bit, which is... whatever. I don't really want them to, but that's fine. the Hornets are 500 right now. And I mean, it's still too early to really tell what's how this season's really going to shape up. I mean, Miami is 2-5, which is shocking. They might be one of the teams this year that just kind of bounces out of the playoffs or is a play-in team just because of the fact that there's so many good teams in the league right now. Somebody has to fall into the play-in or not make the playoffs at all. And right now, they're kind of looking like that team. The race right now is the Bulls, 76ers, and Heat for the play-in spot of the teams that I actually think have a chance at making the play-in. And looking at it, Brooklyn, they should be better than they are, but that team is definitely going to implode as God intended. And, last thing, what is going on in Utah? Why are they 5-2, and why is Bulls legend Lauri Markkanen playing out of his freaking mind right now? I mean, dude's sitting there and averaging 20 points a game, and he's putting up 20 points, 27 points on any given team on any given night. It's like, aren't you guys supposed to be tanking right now? I think everyone else in the league is going to politely ask you to stop that. But, hey, we'll see what happens with that. It's something to keep an eye on. They're going to be a fun League Pass team, and I will definitely be watching them sometime soon. But yeah, interesting times around the league. Week 2, going into week 3, oh boy, we are having fun.